Hugh Freeze had his weekly press conference and didn't really say a whole lot new. And in my opinion, that is a good thing when you're coming off a 73-3 win in your opener. Hey, everyone, brand new Village Vice. He is Zach Blackerby. I'm Brad Law. And no drama, no big, huge, gigantic updates, no big change in philosophy, no big speech that we got to get this better, got to get that better. Zach, that's kind of the way it is if you club a team you're supposed to club 73-3.
Yeah, and the guys you're relying on to be special this season didn't play a whole lot, which is good and bad. You want them to get as many reps as possible, but also you want to keep them healthy, which is why both teams agreed to have a shortened second half, which is wild. So, but yeah, to me, Hugh Freeze came out, he spoke, he gave us 2 quick injury updates, and that was about it. I don't think there was really a whole lot else that was said. So, I mean, to me, Isaiah Rakes, his availability this weekend, that's the biggest thing for me this week.
Yeah. And a guy that I didn't even really – now, things were different in our booth, just to pull the curtain back, and we had some different – my focus wasn't as much on the rotation of players as it will be as we go throughout the year. I didn't really notice that Isaiah wasn't out there. We interviewed him for a pregame show. And then I didn't notice that he wasn't out there. I just thought, man, we're rotating a lot of guys. Look at all the guys who are playing. I noticed the guys who were playing, hi, Malik Blockton, way more than I noticed the guys who were not playing. So, Keontae didn't get all that many snaps at corner in the game. It was some of the other guys at corner. He played probably fewer than we expected. So I don't know that you've seen the full offense. I don't know that you've seen the full defensive packages yet. Because you haven't seen full availability.
Yeah, you definitely haven't seen the full defense. Will they run those plays again this season on offense? Like probably. Yeah. Probably.
But don't they have more? And they'll rely more on the running game in other games. Jarquez Hunter will get more than 4 carries. That will change. That's the big question is, was what we saw offensively, was that a nod to the recruits that were there? Yes. Was it to build confidence in the passing game? Yes. Was it to say this is our identity? Now everybody else has to deal with it? Probably a little.
You think?
It's not the full bag.
I was talking with Daryl Dappridge. You can read his kind of post-game reaction at thebarnauburn.com. More on that in a bit. But I mean, he made the case in our conversation that if you're Cal, you've got to focus on stopping Auburn's passing attack, not Auburn's rushing attack. And it's like, if that's the case, if that's the game plan that opposing teams are going to go with to stop Auburn, is to stop the pass and not the run. I almost stumbled saying that because it feels so weird to say. Like, that's not how you do it. Like, if I'm playing Auburn, I'm still stopping the run. Yeah. But there are going to be teams this year, and it may be Cal this weekend, that's going to aim to stop the pass and not the run, and that's going to be trouble when Jarquez Hunter just kind of does whatever he wants to do.
Well, yeah, and Taylor and I talked a little bit about that Sunday in that you started to see Alabama A&M cheat their linebackers back a few steps and their safeties back a few steps. And had Auburn wanted to, if Auburn hadn't been so dead set on showing off the passing game, that's what they were doing. They weren't experimenting with it. They knew what they had, I think, especially after the first quarter. Auburn knew what it had in the passing game. They were showing it off for recruits, for fans, get the other guys touches and do all of that and get the reps.
You think it was more explosive than they thought, or do you think they really thought they'd be able to just do that?
I mean, I don't know that in any game. So every play is designed to score a touchdown. If on, every single play, if it's blocked perfectly, can score a touchdown. But I don't know that they expected 166 yards on 6 plays, 3 touchdowns in the first 6 plays from scrimmage. I don't know if that's a realistic expectation regardless of the opponent.
Auburn's averaging in like 25 yards a pass attempt right now, or that per completion, regardless, is insane. It's insane.
There were no dinks
for first in college football.
Yeah, there weren't any dinks and dunks. And imagine what that average would be had they done something other than pass to KLS for the 4th touchdown. That was a 4-yard or 5-yard pass play. That's
that beautiful play design of getting him in space hurt the average. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. No, even Hank goes in there and he throws that, the strike to Malcolm on a 3rd and 2. I think people forget that. It's like, goodness gracious. And then, the catch and run. And then obviously the the incredible throw and catch to Sam Jackson. But it's just, it just never stopped. I mean, I'm sure they went in expecting to blow out Alabama A&M.
Sure.
Just the way they did it. I mean, it really looked like a video game that you put it all the way to easy and you can just score whenever you want. Like, that's really what it looked like.
Yeah.
We saw, even when Ole Miss did it, like they lit up whoever they played, but it didn't quite the same. Was it Furman? Yeah. And there's been a few others, but man, it's just, it was so refreshing to see. So refreshing to see, Brad.
Well, and so I won't go off on the full tangent about preseason rankings, but half the teams in the SEC did that this weekend. Half the teams in the league scored 50 or more and did not give up a touchdown. I think that's significant. Now, if you look at the rankings, all right, so Alabama's 5, Texas was Texas 4. Texas is 4, Alabama's 5, Ole Miss is 6. And they all beat their opponents the exact same way that Auburn beat Alabama A&M. So who's to say, who's to say who's 4, 5, 6 and unranked? We've already got half a dozen examples of rankings being wrong to start the season. So all these headlines of these ranked teams going out and beating the blood out of people, and Auburn looked exactly like those teams that are ranked 4, 5, and 6 in the country.
Yeah, transitive wins in college football do not matter. It's early on. It's week 1, and we're going to see more and more of this happen over the course of the season. But just a reminder, transitive property or transitive wins and transitive production, all of that, it doesn't matter. Every single game is isolated to that specific game. Now, are there trends and things? 100%. 100%. But to me, Auburn went out and it's about Auburn. Let's don't compare Auburn's win, I think, to other folks, which isn't what you're doing. But I just think I've seen that other places, and it's hold on. We're going to get the data. We're going to get the data. We're going to get the proof of concept. We're going to get these true ideal matchups over the course of the season. It's going to take care of itself. And one of those is Cal that's coming up. But so circling back to Hugh Freeze's presser, I mean, it did sound like the biggest thing was Isaiah Rakes coming back, which will be a part of the defensive game plan, because I don't think Cal can throw the football. I think they're going to have to run the ball. And, whether your opinion on their running back of Ott is he doesn't look explosive as he did a year ago. UC Davis was all over them. I was not impressed with watching them. I watched that game on Sunday. I was not impressed at all. But you do need to win the line of scrimmage, and Rakes helps you do that. And so to me, I think that's going to be a little underrated in all of this, assuming he does make his return, which it sounds like he's going to. And then Champ Anthony, they love this guy. I mean, this coaching staff loves Champ Anthony. And what kind of seemed like this last minute addition to that class 2 years ago, this JUCO guy's okay, he could be a body on the roster and help us run through practice. That's not what he is at this point. They love him at defensive back, at that star position. So, but I think both of those guys are going to be tremendous additions from week 1 to week 2 for this team.
Yeah, very different roles, but definitely necessary against an offense that is still finding its way. And that was something that Coach Freeze talked about in the presser today is while defensively there's not a lot of changes philosophically from Cal, offensively they're a different team. I don't know how much they're going to run. They will run Jaden Ott differently than they ran him a year ago because the offense is different. It's a spread tempo type of offense. So you affect the quarterback in different ways when they're going tempo, and you rely more on the depth of your secondary and the versatility of those players against an offense like this. I know this about the Cal running back. I bet he's not talking very much this week.
I hope he does.
It would be nice, but given last year, I don't expect it. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Auburn's just a name. It's okay. UC Davis gave y'all everything, everything, and y'all barely came out of that with a win. So we'll see. But yeah, all in all, you're right. Hugh Freeze did not say much today.
All right. Before we continue the conversation, I have to tell you about mybookie.ag. All right. Mybookie.ag is the presenting sponsor of Village Vice. Right now, when you use promo code NEXTROUND, listen to what they're going to do. Listen, don't miss this, please. Don't tune out because it's an ad read. Listen, they're doubling your initial deposit.
What?
Not 50, not 60, not 75%. They're doubling it.
Wow.
So let me go really, let me further make this point. You put in 100, you got 200 in the account. You put in $1,000, you got $2,000. They are doubling your initial deposit by you, but you got to use our promo code next round at mybookie.ag. Usher in that college football season with our friends at mybookie.ag. Also got to tell you about barnersupply.com. This hat right here, I don't know that I'll take it off. Like they might make me for Tiger Talk tonight, but I'm gonna have it up until then. I love this hat. It's my favorite hat. But if you say there are other hats that we like just as well, like this one, you could get it at barnersupply.com.
That's
or
clean.
This one. Yeah.
Man, I love anything that's the baby blue. I love it.
It's a good
I
look.
love it. Yeah.
They make quality products. They're Barners making products for Barners. They use top quality items to make all of their gear. Go peruse yourself, please, at barnersupply.com. Use our promo code Village Vice at checkout. No spaces, all together. And they will give you a free koozie with the purchase of a hat. Koozie. There you are. A Barners Supply koozie.
I'm all about that.
Everybody needs a koozie collection. If you don't have it yet, get it there. What you do is you select the hat, you select the koozie, you put in our promo code Village Vice, and all of a sudden the price for the koozie goes away just like that. It's free.
How about that? Be sure to use our code 100%.
Yeah,
100%. So you and I haven't talked since the game. Who would you say is the guy who stood out? You just said Malik Blockton earlier. Is it Malik Blockton? Is it somebody else? Kind of your biggest surprise from Saturday?
Robert Woodyard. I said that to Taylor a little bit yesterday, that Robert Woodyard seemed to be in a game where nobody had more than 5 tackles. He seemed to be all over the place. He was right in the thick of things, more noticeably.
He played the most.
To me.
Like he played the most of all Auburn players. He played 42 snaps. And so part of it is that. But I'm with you. Like whenever Woodyard is on the field, I've always noticed how good he seems to be in space. And the entire linebacker room blew me away. Dori Mausi would be my answer just because of how much of an impact he made early on. I've talked to a few players and I bring him up and they're like, yeah, he ate. He ate with some of the verbiage that they said. So to me, I think Auburn's linebacker room was the best performing position group on the field on Saturday.
And it's the one we probably talked about the least in the offseason. Offense and defense together.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a boring thing where it's like, okay, well, all these guys are there. Like the only question is, what's the market share of snaps look like? And I don't think we learned that at anything. Yeah. I don't think we learned anything about that because like Robert Woodyard played the most snaps. I'm all for him having a role, but I'd be shocked if he.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd be shocked if he did lead, Auburn in snaps every game. That'd be a surprise.
No, you're right. And his performance was nothing to sneeze at. It was a game where Eugene Asante only had 1 tackle. Austin Keys had a few. I don't know how many he had, but it was just good to see him playing in the game. Yeah, I think the linebacker position in the offseason I had more questions about it than any other position group because I knew like Eugene Asante was a known commodity. Keys is known, but can he stay healthy? Mausi did it at Duke. Can he do it here? Woodyard is plenty talented. He's got talent through the roof, but can he do it in a game? How much is Fanaje Gote going to play? How much are the young guys going to play? How much do we see DeMarcus Riddick and DJ Barber or Joe Phillips? But at least in this game, Woodyard, Barber, Riddick, Mausi, they did it in this game. They at least gave you something on film to say we could do it.
Were you surprised with how little Riddick played?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was too.
Does that mean that they put him in the same class, though, as Asante and Keys and a guy who's going to play a lot more against different competition?
Well, he didn't come in till the end, right? It's not like he played early and he stopped.
Did he not?
He came in with that last wave of freshmen. It's my understanding.
Okay. I gotta go back and look at that.
Yeah, let me know if I'm wrong on that. But I was just surprised with how little we saw him.
Yeah.
Because it seems like some of the younger classmen and like new starters, they did keep in longer. And I feel like if that was the case, they would have had him in longer. But could be wrong. Could be wrong. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
What do you think of Kieran Crawford?
Was probably one of my least favorite performances of Saturday.
Really?
I don't think he did anything from a pass rushing element. He lost contain several times. It sounds like that's been a big focal point of the defensive meetings talking about this game. Yeah, I mean he's got to be better.
Yeah. All right. Cornerback.
Is that not what you expected when you asked about?
No, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect very much either way because I don't think we saw a lot from him. I know he had one tackle for loss. What about cornerback play? You're the guy I trust on this. I mean,
I thought it was great.
Corners, everybody listen.
Yeah, no, I think Kay and Lee looked outstanding. The DPI on him, the defensive pass interference call, was a joke. He was the only one going for the ball. The receiver wasn't even going for the ball. How do you throw that? It's insane. Yeah, I thought Kayan was exceptional. He was I can't say enough good things about him. To me, I think he's great. And then I liked parts of Jalen Crawford. There were a few things though where he just looked like a freshman. And he got flagged for it when he's just like they're 15 yards down the field and he's like hooking them. It's like you can't do that. You can't do stuff like that. But then there'd be times where they threw at him and he, forcing incompletion. It was electric. So to me, like he's the next one in my mind. He's the next one. And I mean, depending on who Auburn adds in this class, which it seems like Naeem Offord will be part of this class, like it's going to be a battle between Offord and Crawford to be opposite of Lee, which what a situation to be in.
If I ever need to make you smile, we just start talking about cornerback depth and the potential for future secondaries, and rightfully so. So,
since we're talking about this, like I've been pretty hard on Keontae Scott this offseason and him an outside corner. Like I've been very clear and consistent. Like I don't love the move. I didn't notice him.
Yeah,
which is exactly what you want.
I don't have what you want. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but apparently he didn't play that many series at corner either.
Okay.
That's what Coach Freeze said in the presser today. He did mention one of the other corners, J.C. Hart. You'd like to come down with the interception on that tipped ball, but he credited him with a presence of mind to get downfield, make the tackle, and not just give up 6.
So he played 18 total snaps. 5 of them were special teams. 12 were at wide corner. And then he had one where he was in the box. So he played 12 snaps at corner.
12 snaps at corner. So 20% or so of the how many snaps did they have in the game? Auburn had fewer than 50
on offense.
Yeah.
Defense, they had 73. So he played, what would you say, 12 snaps at corner of the 73?
Yeah. So like 16% of the snaps. That's wild.
You. Okay. We know you can do math. Very cool. Very cool. And Auburn played 46 snaps on offense, which is just insane.
And had 600 or whatever the yardage was.
Yeah.
In a 50-minute game.
That's true too. There's something I want to say about Cal.
Okay.
In a second. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun in a second.
Yeah.
Right here on Village Vice. Today's show is also brought to you by our friends at Roback. Roback, it's the most comfortable clothing line ever. I wore Roback stuff on Saturday. I also wore it on Friday when I went to watch the golf tournament over in Atlanta. And it's as hot as it was. Roback keeps you cooler than anything else. You also look super cool. That's what people said. They came up to me like, "Wow, you look cool. What is it about you?" And I said, "It's Roback. It's Roback." So they've got hoodies, they've got polos, they've got hats, they've got shorts, they've got everything you could possibly imagine. Head over to roback.com. Use our promo code VICE20. You get 20% off your order. Once again, promo code VICE20. That's at roback.com. So Cal fans last year started this beef with us.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, this is fun. I'm all for online Twitter smack talk. I'm all for it. And one of their more popular accounts that really kind of stirred the pot a year ago was their sidelines account. Auburn has a sidelines account. It's a brand.
Yeah.
And They tweeted this out earlier today. It's from Sidelines Cal. Auburn Hate Week starts, and then of course they tag the sideline account at Auburn. Yeah. But they included the GIF of Baker Mayfield talking smack when he was at Oklahoma, which is it's a popular GIF. But to me, like, you don't have anything of your own team to use. You're using Oklahoma. There's plenty of GIFs. I tried to say GIF for you. I just can't do it. There's plenty of.
Yeah. I've relented. It is GIF.
Thank you. It is.
Yeah.
I want to have that conversation in a second.
Okay.
But to me, like, there's plenty of GIFs like that are making fun of Auburn too. It's like, why didn't you use one of those? You use Baker Mayfield? That doesn't even make any sense.
I just put Cal football in my phone to search for GIFs.
What came up?
I mean, some pretty random. Let's see. There's a guy driving what looks like the injury cart.
Oh,
the next two don't have anything to do with football. Like, you can't tell that they're football.
Mm-hmm.
And the search was Cal football. I'll say this, like, the Baker Mayfield GIF isn't even from a game against Auburn. It's not even from that Sugar Bowl.
True.
That's true. It's completely random and has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah. What I asked this question on Twitter earlier today, and a few of the responses were, well, they have to use Baker because we took their quarterback.
Oh.
Does Sam Jackson score a touchdown this weekend? He does, right?
Oh, I think you have to. Yeah, you have to get him one.
You have to give him a shot at it at least.
Yeah, I agree. Wouldn't that be something? He had maybe the most spectacular catch.
Probably the best play of the
game.
Probably the best play of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you got to get him. I love in the presser today too. The question was, and it's a good question. It was a good question, was, do you ask Sam about, Cal and what they're doing defensively? And Freeze like, nah, I don't know that he'd know, really. I mean, our guys know. We pretty much we got it. We got it.
Yeah.
He's not going to know when they're going to get in the bear front or when they're going to blitz or when. He's not going to know that.
Right.
So
right. There might be some players that it's like, hey, this guy's, but the staff knows that too, right? Like, they know who the good players are at this point. So what caused the shift of you calling it GIF versus GIF? Because we argued against this about this for a long time ago.
Yeah. And I think, and somebody reached out to me at that point and said that, like, the inventor of the GIF calls it GIF.
Okay.
So my argument was that it stands for, like, the first word in GIF is graphic. It's not graphic. So it's a GIF, but the person who invented GIFs calls it a GIF. So that person, if you invent something, you have full rights to name it and pronounce it however you want. Like the name. How about this? The name Jordan. If you name your I grew up with somebody in my hometown who was named Jordan. She pronounced it Jordan. Her parents named her Jordan. It was spelled Jordan after Shug Jordan.
Got it.
You can pronounce it Jordan if you want to, but that's wrong.
But you're wrong. You're incorrect.
The correct pronunciation is Jordan. And so you can call it a GIF if you want, but the person who named it calls it a GIF.
It's been there's been so many good moments in this show's history, but watching your growth on how you handled that specific topic.
Yeah.
It's really just made me love you even more.
I'm trying to be a better man every day, Zach.
Well, clearly. Here's how you can be a better man.
Yeah, please.
Anybody watching.
Yep.
Head over to thebarnauburn.com right now. It's Auburn's newest message board. We are having a blast. We're getting people posting in there every day saying, hey, I'm coming from other message boards. I'm ready for a more positive place. And thebarnauburn.com is exactly that. We're dropping tons of team scoop, I dropped several conversations that I've had with NFL scouts over the course of the weekend in there, as well as conversations with players and folks with inside the Auburn program, with just scoops and kind of their thoughts on what happened on Saturday and position groupings and things like that. And then what Kyle's done on the recruiting front in there with all of those nuggets at thebarnauburn.com, it's second to none. So head over there. The first month is $1. You kidding me? It's $1. Go try it out. Thebarnauburn.com. Brad, that's all I got.
All right, then that about does it for today's show. Thanks for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. We really do appreciate it. And remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.